G'day, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name is ShoeTalk74, and let's get into this one then. So in today's video, guys, we are bringing back an old classic from the channel to the newest F1 game, F1 25. Well, we're going to be playing F1 26 really with the DLC cars that are available in this game. And we're going to be doing the pit stop challenge. Now, what is the pit stop challenge, you may ask? Well, the pit stop challenge is where we choose our car. So we're going to be playing the F1 26 cars. We're going to be around the Madring circuits, the newest track to the calendar of this year. And the challenge is to use all of the tyre compounds in a short race. So that means we're going to be using the soft, the medium, the hard, the intermediate, and the full wet. And we're going to be seeing how we can do against 0% AI, see where we can come. As I said, we're going to be playing as the Aston Martin, and we're going to be playing as Fernando Alonso, the home hero here at the Spanish Grand Prix, what is now, rather than the Barcelona Grand Prix that we've already had, but that's dropping off next year. And so we'll see if this strategy will prevail for Fernando Alonso and he can get his first win in many a year. He might be better off trying this strategy off, honestly, with how awful the Aston Martin currently is. We'll see if their upgrades can fix their troubles later on, but I'll just quickly take you through the settings. I won't really explain too many of them. Most of them are self-explanatory, but you can see all of the assists that I'm going to be using. The difficulty, we're starting at 0. We are going to be doing a short session length, so 25% race, no qualifying, no practice, none of that. We're going to be keeping it as clear because otherwise then it would kind of ruin the challenge a bit. So we're going to have clear weather, rules and flags are going to be sort of your sort of standard stuff that you'd often see. Simulation settings, again, fairly standard. And yeah, as I say, I'm piloting the wheel, the T150 wheel. And yeah, let's go ahead and have a fun time. I've not done this challenge in a while, but it should be really fun. I'm glad to come back to F1 and hopefully I'll make more content on it. So let's see how we can do. Should be a fun challenge. And yeah, sit back, enjoy, and let's get on with it.
We're racing in Spain this afternoon at this brand new venue. It's been a brilliant weekend so far, but who can claim victory today? Welcome along, everyone, to the Spanish Grand Prix here at the Madring. Let's take a look at the Madring then. From the start, you're heavy braking into turn 1 and then on the power through turn 3, swooping round to the right for a little chicane 5 and 6. The track winds its way towards turn 10. Spectacular banking. Watch out for the cars going through there. And then high speed changes of direction all the way to turn 18 and 19, where if you're late enough on the brakes, that could be another overtaking spot. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Isaac Hadjar completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Piastri, Verstappen, Antonelli, Behrman, and Carlos Sainz, Albon, Ocon, Liam Lawson and Gasly, Colapinto, Lindblad, Lance Stroll and Gabriel Bortoleto, Perez, Bottas, Alonso and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
And radio check.
Yep, thank you Crofty, thank you Pass Me, and thank you Fernando Alonso and Mark. I forgot that they speak at the start. It's been a while since I played F1 games, obviously, and that feature of them adding driver voice lines in. But anyway, we are here. We've got our general strategy, but of course this is going to change because we're going to have to put in the intermediate tyre and the wet tyre. Decide to start on the soft, decide to underfuel the car because we're going to be doing a lot of lifting and coasting anyway. I probably could have even underfueled it even more if I wanted to, but we didn't in the end. And yeah, starting on the soft, then we're going to head to the intermediate, then the medium or the hard, then the wets, and then either the medium or hard to finish off. So game strategy is in mind. We are ready for this race as we have 5 red lights appearing at the front of us at the Madring. The lights are gone, and so are we as we take off here past a few different cars. Good launch for us, obviously against 0% AI, so quite easy to get such a good launch. Taking it slightly cautious into turn 1, still on the inside of some cars, cutting through the field though as they're deeply not accelerating and kind of getting a bit boxed in here by Antonelli and Verstappen. Antonelli and me go round Max Verstappen, obviously getting a poor launch as usual in this year, as we then overtake Antonelli and Piastri up into 6th already from basically last on the grid. There's a few cars crashing over the sausage curbs, and then it is up into the next turn past the fuel station, looking to overtake Lewis Hamilton as he is incredibly slow off of that corner because obviously it's a 0% AI. Overtaking Norris as well, close to the front wing to his rear end, but getting around him, getting around the outside of Russell and Leclerc on this sweeping long right-hander. Then it is just Hadjar left in first position to overtake. Gonna take it cautiously through here because, well, I've never played this track before, and yeah, in the end, a little bit of boost, and we are round and out past Hadjar, taking it very aggressively into that corner though, because yeah, like I said, I've not ever driven this track before. I've seen people drive it, and yeah, very close to the wall there as I was completely forgetting the layout. I've seen some people drive this course, like I said, but never really driven it myself. So yeah, trying to get acclimated with the track, as well as also the Aston Martin here. I suppose it's not too different to the My Team car, but still, yeah, getting acclimated here and getting in the groove. Of course, we set the fastest lap because we were the first to cross the line, and it was a fairly easy lap 1 in the end, as you'd expect with 0% AI. So yeah, here is a replay of the start though, setting it down the inside here, getting plenty of overtakes against the 2 Hasses. We go around the outside of both of them, cut to the inside against all these cars, and it's a bit of a traffic jam, bit of a police boxing in here by Antonelli and Verstappen. In the end, we overtake Verstappen. Antonelli actually cuts around a lot here, but we're able to get past him, and we're able to get past Piastri and head on through. And again, like I said, they cut the sausage curb there and get a hefty amount of damage. So yeah, rather interesting. But let's see from Antonelli's view how the start kind of went. Yeah, as I say, just getting boxed in and sort of dancing between the 2 of us is Alonso, who obviously I'm playing as, and Antonelli. And then yeah, Verstappen goes over the curb, he goes over the sausage curb, so double damage for the 2 behind us. And then yeah, Hamilton was the next car up for us, just taking it nice and easy, and then passing him on the outside. Because again, acceleration very slow with the 0% AI. And yeah, then we overtook Norris, and then this lovely off-board shot of me going around George Russell and Charles Leclerc with only Hadjar left underneath the Madrig sign. We go 2nd place, and yeah, Hadjar was the only car left, and we got him fairly easy because once again the AI is incredibly slow at 0% AI. So the hard part of getting through the pack is kind of done. Not that it was necessarily too hard, but we got through it, and now we kind of just settle in a bit here and do some fastest laps out. So as you can see here, a bit squirrely on the exit, but it's going to be a fastest lap of 1 minute 39.322, and yeah, we push on to lap 3 here. And yeah, comfortable out in front, 15 seconds the gap is already, and yeah, feeling fairly good in the car, to be fair, as we get this lovely helicopter shot as well, just seeing how this track will sort of be laid out once it's all been built up. Nice little festival there in the middle, actually. That's quite a cool idea with the Ferris wheel and such. And then we go into the very cornering heavy sort of area, I can see why the game gives you the max downforce as the preset. There is a lot more corners than there are straights, but a lot of these are quite fast and flowing corners, so it's actually quite a nice and fun lap, to be honest. The first sector is a little bit awkward, but no, definitely towards the end of the lap, it's actually really fun for a track. So I'm excited to see what the real life F1 cars will be around here. Looks kind of a bit of a narrow-ish track though, which is the only main problem. But anyway, back to this challenge. Enough of the track. We're going in this time to the pit lane, heading onto lap 4 here, getting off the softs and going onto the intermediates on a bone-dry desert track here in Madrid. You can see a very long pit lane is kind of split into two. We are the first of the second portion of this pit lane as we get an optimal pit time. That feature's been in many a game in the past, so I'm at least competent enough to get into the pits with the manual sort of option. And yeah, out of the pit lane we are still in first position, 10 seconds in front, or 8 seconds or so in front of Hadjar, as it sort of fluctuates to eventually reveal where we're at. And yeah, obviously grip not great with the intermediates, but yeah, that's the sort of fun part of this challenge, is sort of surviving the in-between phases and making obviously many more pit stops than you would imagine. As we brush the wall there, Brush is maybe a bit of a play down of what actually happened. It was a fairly big whack, but yeah, coming in now to the pits after being on the intermediate tyre for just a single lap to get on to our next set of tyres. And of course in the strategy phase you saw me sort of looking at going on the mediums, but in the end I actually chose to go on the hards, get the harder compound of tyre out of the way and done now, and then move on to the softer one later on. But once again, a long pit lane, so that does kind of help the AI a little bit with the fact that, you know, they only have to make one stop, whereas we are making 4 stops on 5 different tyres. So yeah, but it's a good job from the I've got to say Fernando Alonso boys. I guess they kind of are, but it's the Aston boys as we come out in P8 now, behind Max Verstappen. Everyone on hard tyres. Theirs obviously a little bit worn, but not really too much after 5 laps in, you'd imagine. But catching up to him now underneath this tunnel slash bridge, and we head on through and past Mr. Max Verstappen at the petrol station. We're then going to cut inside against Piastri as he defends the outside there. No match for us on our fresh tyres and the fact that he's a 0% AI, of course. And then we're going to take a 1, a 2 and almost a 3 as Russell is blocking the middle there, so kind of end up just cutting back to the racing line and sort of staying there as Mark congratulates us. So I give a little cheers to Mark there, thank you very much for the compliment. And then we move on to Mr. Norris and Leclerc, overtake both of them again with another double overtake. That clearly not as impressive for Mark. And then around the outside of Isaac Hadjar, and we are back up into first position, but there are some yellow flags behind us as we see it's Mr. Alexander Albon. He is unfortunately out of this race with an engine failure, bound to happen in these races, of course. And yeah, he's going to pull up to the off the road there, and his race is done and dusted. Not going to bring out any sort of safety car or anything like that, but he is out of the session. So yeah, as a few people do decide to come in now for their pit stop, mainly off of their sort of softer compounds. But yeah, let's have a look again at some of these overtakes around the double overtake that Mark absolutely enjoyed around the outside of the sweeping right corner. Then, like I said, Russell put up a pretty good defense going into that corner, but then I overtake him by just out-tractioning him. And yeah, once again, let's cut back to how it all began on that lap. So we overtake Max Verstappen on board with him, fairly easy into that corner. Though somewhat hard, I guess, because the fact that we're on cold tyres, but still get the job done. Get the job done against Piastri, and then it is Antonelli, Hamilton, and Russell that are in front of us, and we overtake both of them by just out-tractioning them against 0% AI. And like I say, I could have gone down the inside against George Russell, but I wasn't sure what he was going to do, so end up just sort of hanging back, playing it a bit safe, and then overtaking him later on. And then we had Norris, Leclerc and Hadjar in front of us, and so again just out-tractioning the two of them, and then Hadjar was the only guy left remaining out in the lead of this race, but not for long as I come steaming through. And yeah, another thing to note about Albon's is he actually crashed on the way over there. You can hear the crunch of him brushing against the tyre wall there, or the advertising board there. So yeah, some AI sort of mistakes are fairly prevalent apparently in this track. Still some things to iron out, I suppose. But yeah, we push on then on lap 6 here as Fernando Alonso doing the business and kind of, well, getting close to barriers, as you can see there, but just picking up fastest laps like it's candy from a baby. Fastest lap on lap 7, fastest lap on lap 8 as well, lap 6 of course, and there you go, lap 8, we get the fastest lap there. And so we're on to lap 9 now, and that's about where I call it for the hard tyres in. Just having a bit of fun now. We've got a 46-second gap to the cars in front. Aston Martin would be absolutely buzzing if they had such a lead. Instead, I feel like it's more the opposite with them at the moment. But either way, we're coming into the pits now for the next stop. This time onto the wet tyre, the hardest tyre, or not the hardest in terms of compound, but the most difficult tyre that we will be on in this race weekend as we head into the pits. There it is, the blue marked tyre with all of its grooves, and off we go again. Another good stop from the Aston Martin fellas, and yeah, coming out now. And yeah, I believe it is time for slick spark. I think that's a pretty good call, to be honest. Good eyes there. And yeah, coming out the pits, still plenty of distance here as yeah, we're just still too fast compared to the 0% AI. And yeah, I guess we'll stay on board a little bit with the Aston Martin as it goes very squirrely with how little grip the wet tyres are providing on such a dry track. And yeah, but that's kind of part of the fun, to be honest, with this challenge, is not only making so many pit stops but enjoying some wet tyres on a dry track, as we're going to 2 times speed it along here to kind of just show you how the lap kind of went. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be much more difficult than it actually was, but I have been playing recently with only medium traction, whereas I used to play with full traction, so that's kind of helped me a bit, I guess, control sort of oversteery sort of power slides as these are. But yeah, I decided to go on for another lap to just add to the challenge a little bit more, because, well, the gap is so large already. It's 35 seconds. I thought let's make a bit of a joke out of this and go on to the wet tyre for another lap and sort of just keep drifting around here. And as you can see, I managed to build a gap. Yes, I build a gap somehow. After all these people make their pit stops, I somehow build a gap on wet tyres. Unbelievable. But either way, we're going to come in here on lap 12 now to come in for the last tyre in the pit stop challenge, that being the medium tyre, the only tyre that we have not used thus far. So we come in, we make our stop, the new tyres go on, and it is back out from the pit lane to the track on the yellow tyres, and that is the last stop now for real of this race. And we can kind of just continue on here on our merry way. We are still so far in front. The other cars are still on the previous lap. They're not even crossed the finish line yet to get onto the next lap. So yeah, it's ended up being a very easy, as I nearly crashed into the wall there on the cold tyres of the mediums. It ends up being a very easy sort of race and challenge, to be fair. So we get another fastest lap. That's, I mean, fun, but not really what this challenge is all about. It's about trying to fight your way through the field on some very hard tyres, but it just ends up being kind of a cakewalk. So yeah, let me know, guys. Maybe in the next one, which I do want to do more of these. I am going to do more of these despite, you know, however well this video sort of does. I am going to continue doing these because I do find them fun, at least for a few challenges. But yeah, let me know. Maybe I need to bump up the AI difficulty to 60%, because 0% used to be pretty good back in the day. But we are rolling back the time anyway, because Fernando Alonso is going to win at his home race. What a win for Fernando Alonso. What a win for the pit stop challenge. Well done.
Yeah, I'm happy. Happy with the race. I'm super happy. I'm proud of you.
It's happy days for the Fonz. A winner today, Fernando Alonso.
And you could really tell today just how much of a factor the home race advantage was. Not only did they have the energy from the crowd, but they also knew every millimeter of this track. That's what the home race advantage means.
I hate to break it to you, Naomi, but I've never driven this track. Fernando Alonso's never driven this track. It's the first time I've been here. How are we supposed to know every inch of this track? Yeah, a bit of a wrong sort of voice audio there. I suppose it's kind of fun that it is talking about Fernando Alonso, or the fact that this is a driver winning at their home track. That's quite cool, but yeah, a bit sort of disingenuous to say that he knows every inch of this track, since it's the first time being here and it's my first time driving it. It's not like I even know the track very well. I've literally only just watched people play the track and then sort of gauged from there how to sort of drive it, and sort of learning on the fly as well. But either way, there you go. That is the pit stop challenge. 1 minute 36.9 was our fastest lap in the end, beating out Oscar Piastri by 1 minute 48.8 for him, so much faster. And wow, what a race director tyre infographic you've got there. I don't think you've ever seen that before, or maybe you have, but yeah, very uncommon, let's say, in a real life attempt at this and such. But yeah, here you go. This is the pit stops to show you how it all sort of played out in its own timeline, and yeah, what can I say? We did a decent job, and sort of just kind of cruised once we got past the intermediate sort of phrase. We got onto the hards. There was no looking back. But now, let me show you what I mean when I say in the title that there was a glitch, because as you can see, why is Hamilton DNF'd? His engine hasn't cut out. We're on the last lap. I don't know if this is just a Madring thing, but if we slow it down here, you can see he goes from being 5th to then just DNFing. 5th to DNFing. Huh? What is going on? And then we do a little DJ shuffle. Yeah, I have no idea why this glitch happened. Oh, I see. It's because he's not right next to the petrol station. Ah, I see. Yeah, he just went to quickly get some petrol. But anyway, guys, weird glitch out the way. Madring, what a fun circuit, and what a fun challenge. Like I say, if you want to see more of these, let me know. But otherwise, if you did enjoy, be sure to go ahead and hit the like button. Comment anything you enjoyed below. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. Give me some constructive criticism as well down below. And until the next video, guys, this has been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys next time.